Hello everybody and welcome to Energetic Principles Horoscopes for this Leo season. My name is Melissa LaFara and I am an astrologer and tarot reader from San Diego, California. And today we're going to talk about what's in store for this Leo season. So let's get started.
And may the stars be with you.
All right, Pisces and Pisces Rising. So what does this Leo season have in store for you? Well, this Leo season is going to be really astrologically charged. This is a big month as far as planets are concerned. And I'll start off by saying that we have kind of a rare occurrence, and that is that we're going to have 2 new moons in Leo. So we're going to have our first new moon on Sunday, July 23rd. And that's going to squeak in at 0 degrees Leo. And we're going to kick off the season right when the sun moves there. We're going to have our first new moon around there. And then we're going to have the new moon solar eclipse, the Great American Solar Eclipse on Monday, August 21st, which is also going to be boosting that same area of your life. So we're going to be gaining new vitality to where we're having these new moons. And for you, Pisces, that's all around your own day-to-day reality. Like, what does life look like? And how can I kind of change that up to get more in line to what it is that I love to do and my heart's desire and where I find joy? Because essentially that is what the Leo season is bringing us, is our own ability to self-express more and to find a lighter side of life and to go after our heart's desire. So that being said, you know, you might have a lot on your plate this month. You might kind of be running around, I don't want to say like a chicken with your head cut off, but you might have taken on a lot of responsibility recently, or there might be more responsibility that comes your way, and you're kind of at the service of others and what's going on. So just know that you can be pretty busy, a lot of busy work right now. And this is also a time to really revitalize your whole health regimen and what it is, how you take care of yourself and honor what it is that your body needs, and your own health, you know. So that being said, like where we're getting these boosts, you know, because with an eclipse, we're going to have, there's always endings and beginnings that happen with eclipses, and we're going to see a lot of this pan out in the next 8 months or so. But for you, I think your work life is definitely getting a boost. You know, you want to put your love into what it is you do. And that's why so many Pisces are in like creative fields, because what it is you do in your day-to-day reality, you want to tie that into creativity and love and joy. And you know, and playing a part in a sense. Oh, you see so many Pisces that are actors. But I really think that your work life is going to get a boost maybe this month, but mostly, you know, in the next 8 months or so. And you need to put yourself in a position that you are loving what it is that you do. And you want your creativity and self-expression to be a part of that day-to-day reality. So what changes can we make now and bring new things in our life and revitalize that so that we can get to these goals and get to this place that we want to be in our daily lives? So the next aspect I'm going to talk about is Jupiter in Libra, who's going to be squaring Pluto in Capricorn. And that's going to happen on Friday, August 4th. And this has been going on quite some time. It started its cycle in late 2007. That's how long this has been processing. And this is more of a community thing, you know, as far as the world is concerned. So you're probably going to feel this more of an underbelly, and you're definitely going to see it in society. We've already retrograded over this point, so now we're going forward with final considerations. And for you, you know, especially with Pluto, for the last 8 years or so, you've been really realigning your own network of friends and social life and your hopes and wishes, you know. They've been getting makeover after makeover after makeover, and you've had to renew theirs. Chances are you've had to leave old friends because you've outgrown them in a sense, and they don't serve who you are today. So chances are there's a lot of realignment that has to happen around, you know, group affiliations and organizations that you belong to. And so with all that growth, you know, with Jupiter, your growth has been actually tied into sharing resources with the others and collaborations, like who has something of value that I can get with and we can work together on this. So there's been a lot of that, and you might have had tension in that, you know, what it is you're going after and your own goal and hopes might not match up with who you've collaborated with, and you might have had to part ways or create new boundaries around what it is you allow from others and that you give of yourself. So there's been a lot of change, and especially since your growth is kind of elevated in this area of Jupiter and relating, chances are you've had to let go of some people in your life and old situations, and there's just been a lot of change. There's a lot of change that's happening for you, Pisces, and life may feel a little whirlwindy, but that's okay. You're getting in the groove of this change. You know, go with the flow like the fish can, you know. Another thing I would say, just because Jupiter is hanging out in this area, is that you be careful with getting in debt, or especially over the last year or so, or if you're finding that you want to put yourself in that, or you might have already done it. This is kind of the situation that comes up where debt can really cost you in the long run as far as your you know, goals are concerned. So just be careful with how much you borrow or get indebted to other people and what they offer. But ultimately, I feel like you are stepping into and transforming your own personal power and your own passion around how you relate to the group and the organizations that you work with. You know, because Pisces, you're a very you know, worldly creature. You're willing to give yourself to so many people. But you have to give yourself to the right people and align yourself with the right people. So going forward, just make sure you have the right boundaries in place on who you socialize with and who you want to network with and give your time to, because your time is valuable. So the next aspect I'm going to talk about is the lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in Aquarius, full moon lunar eclipse, Monday, August 7th. And when we have a full moon lunar eclipse, it is a time, any full moon is a time of release, but with an eclipse it is something that really dies, and for good. It's endings in our lives, and sometimes it's immediate and sometimes it's a couple months down the road. But for you, Pisces, it's actually releasing some areas that can really be hiccups for Pisces, and that is releasing you know, self-sabotage tactics in areas where we might have some addictions or compulsions of some sort that are holding us back. And now we can really release some of that energy. You know, you might feel this could be one of those full moons where you kind of just want to retreat and you want to go to your own Pisces place, your own spiritual connection, and you know, because you might feel overwhelmed at this time, and you're just gonna have to withdraw and take a moment for yourself and regroup, you know, allow yourself that time with yourself so that you can spiritually connect and maybe do a little meditation of sorts to get in touch with the emotions that might be happening now. Because it's really the perfect moon to reflect and gain awareness around certain outdated emotional issues in your life, and to really let those go at this time, you know, because if any unconscious fears are bubbling up, this is the perfect time to be like, okay, you're here. Let's sit with this. Let's understand it. Why am I fearful of this? Why am I feeling a little strange? Why do I feel like I might not fit in? Like, what is this, you know, and how can I release that? Because ultimately, you know, Pisces, you got a lot to offer people, and the world needs you. And if you have these second guessings and these unconscious fears that are holding you back, that's not doing anybody any good. So this is a time to really release that, and then to really grasp on to your own faith and what Pisces is so good at, and that's having faith in things. And the right things, of course, and the right people, essentially. So just know that this full moon eclipse can really touch on these subjects. And so the next aspect we're going to talk about is Mercury, who's going to be retrograding in Virgo. And it'll go retrograde Saturday, August 12th, and it's going to be in retrograde motion back into Leo until September 5th. And so basically Pisces are going to be going over and reviewing and reassessing, you know, their relationships and their partnerships and who they partner with, and if there is balance there or not. You might want to ask yourself at this time, you know, have you really been listening to people? Have they been listening to you? You know, are you really connecting there? Are you really able to share in a way that you're both getting something out of it? You know, and it is also about communicating your fairly to others, you know, and what you think of others. And that's a tricky subject sometimes, is to say what you think about another person if it's not that great. But no, there has to be some diplomacy around that, because chances are our mind is going to be going back over who we are connected with and those long-term partnerships that we have in place. So just know that your thoughts may be a little argumentative at this time, you know, and you're kind of focusing on the details in that Virgo fashion. And you might be having kind of inner battles with your mind in a sense, because this is a very personal transit. It's not, that's why we don't want to act out in the real world. We kind of want to have that inner time with ourselves to reassess what it is our minds are working on in that private zone. So just know that if you find yourself in this mental battle, like, kind of release that. Don't go back and forth, and just try to find a balance with that. And just so you know, if any of you have any legal issues that are going on right now, chances are those are going to be reviewed as well. And I definitely wouldn't sign any contracts during this time, especially if something is new and you're working with another person. And so that being said, when it retrogrades back into Leo, you're going to be back to reviewing your day-to-day routine, and how your thinking aligns with what it is you love and what your reality looks like. Is your mind on board with your reality? Does your mind need to readjust itself so that it can understand your day-to-day, and really be looking at it the right way, because we're going to be changing here. You know, your day-to-day is going to change. Honestly, reality of how it is today for you is probably going to look way different within the next year, I would say. So this is a good time to get that mental faculty into what it is we see for ourselves in that day-to-day. What does our mind envision? What do we want? Reassess, you know, that energy that we put out there, especially in terms of service to others, or our own health. This would be a good time to get mentally on board with changing health regimens, in a sense. So you can look into that as well. And so the last transit I want to talk about is actually Venus, who's now moved into Cancer, is going to be squaring that Jupiter in Libra and opposing that Pluto in Capricorn, which I talked about earlier. But now we're in more of a personal planet situation, so it's not going to be this bubbling under thing. It's more going to be like a kind of in your face, you know. There's going to be a T-square, and there might be a little blocked energy in your life, and kind of a standstill or a challenge or a turning point in some way. And for you, that's really about opening up to sharing your creations, and expressing yourself, in, you know, expressing yourself, especially in the organizations that you work in, or the network of friends that you have going on. Like, open yourself up to really sharing your creative visions there, and you know, you might feel actually that your support and your network and, you know, the people that you collaborate with might actually not be on board with your creative vision. That could be a problem right now, to where you have this, you know, your artistic, you know, idea is compromised in a sense, because the person who's funding it and, you know, the people that support it are like, what? So just know there could be a little challenging around, you know, those shared resources, and the people that we network with. So that being said, Pisces, keep in mind that this is all about, this Leo season, all about getting in touch with your day-to-day reality and your health, and how you can revitalize that to get yourself to where you need to be in everyday living and in a healthful place. All right, Pisces, so what does the tarot have in store for you for this Leo season? Well, we've got the Two of Pentacles as the focus and the Wheel of Fortune as the grounding. So I'm going to go ahead and just say first and foremost that these cards are saying change, change, and more change. So just know that you're going to be rolling with the punches this month, Pisces, and you're going to have to go with the flow. And the only thing that you can really count on is the fact that you can't count on much. So just know that as things are shifting in your life, and you're probably juggling a lot of responsibilities right now and a lot of material, like earthly considerations, just know that all this change is happening because it's creating newness in your life. You know, chances are some of you might have new jobs this month, or there's a business partnership that might come your way, and opportunities calling you. But at the same time, you might have to do a juggling act to make it all happen, right? So, you know, this is a great time to be more decisive about your life, and what it is that you want to manifest. Because even though you're juggling a lot, it's good to get in touch with what it is that you really do want to manifest in this world, and then implement that change into your surroundings. You know, because you're gonna be trying to get your bearings this month, essentially, and it might fly by pretty fast. But I feel like all this change that's happening to you and all this juggling that you might have to do is really centered around putting yourself in a harmonious position of growth, and something that's really aligned with your own fate, in a sense. Like, these are fateful happenings that are coming into your life. And, you know, you just gotta roll with the punches and just stay, you know, ride that wave like the fish that you are. You know, if anybody can kind of go with the flow, I feel like it's Pisces. So maybe this isn't going to be as challenging for you as it might be for other people, but just know it might be a little overwhelming at times. But essentially, you know, essentially it's really about finding balance this month with all the changes that are happening in your life and those new opportunities that are coming your way. You know, how can you balance that all and make it work for you? All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to find out more about me or find where I'm at, you can find me at energeticprinciples.com. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Energetic Principles. I also do a weekly podcast, Astrology and Tarot and Inspirational Quote podcast with Shauna McGrath of Neo Feminine Astrology. And that is called The Feminine Principle, Astrology for Authentic Living. All right, so I hope everyone has a wonderful Leo season. And if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to my channel and share with friends. And plus, I'd love to hear your comments and how Leo season is treating you. So please leave comments down below. So I hope everybody has a wonderful season with the Lion. And as always, may the stars be with you.